Good evening, hi, welcome. My name is Michelle and I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up in the Southern Highlands in New South Wales. Tonight we're going to try something to have a little bit of fun and make a fun card again using another one of my sketch challenges. Anyway, good evening. So tonight what I thought we'd do is we'd do another one of my sketch challenges. Please jump on tomorrow onto my Facebook page or my blog and I'll have this posted and it'll be there for you to have a go at as well. Now I've put some measurements down here for the measurements I'm going to use tonight. It's really up to you because when I designed these, I designed them with no rule measurements in mind. I haven't really, you can make your mats a bit smaller, a bit bigger. These are just my measurements, but you're quite welcome to use them. The stamp set we're going to have a play with tonight, it's the first time I've actually played with it, is Over the Moon. I think we need a little bit of fun in our lives at the moment. Things are just getting a little bit drastic out there in the real world, and sometimes it's nice to just hide in our craft rooms and just play and just sort of forget for a little while, not completely, just for a little while what's going on. So I hope you're all staying really, really safe. I hope you're looking after yourselves and your family. But anyway, that's enough about me. Let's get on and have some play. So, Over the Moon. So I thought what we'd do is we'll stamp up one of these cows. Now I have had a little bit of a play today to get a little bit of an idea of what I'm doing. So I'm going to use this beautiful girl here. And we're going to stamp her up on a piece of Whisper White. Now as I said, I am using the sketch challenge, which I will post tomorrow, which is KOS #8. And the pieces that I'm using is going to be, I've got my card base here and I'm doing my card base in Pretty Peacock, basing everything around this year's in colours. So Pretty Peacock, so that is half a sheet of A4 paper. So it is 21 centimetres across, scored at 10.5 and 14.9 centimetres down. Okay, so I've just folded that in half and we're going to use it this way today, landscape. Okay, so I'm going to pop that one to one side. We then have two pieces of Whisper White. One of them is to go inside the card, so we've got something to write on, and the other one is going to be our mat. Now I've cut those two pieces exactly the same size, and that is by 14.4 centimetres. Okay, so you'll need two of those. If you've got this stamp set at home, please join along, grab the bits and pieces out and have a go. And this is going to be a fun night. I'm using 3 pieces of Designer Series paper. Now these are your in colours. We have got your Pretty Peacock. We have got, now it's a long time since I've actually used this colour, so let me just have a look. We've got Pretty Peacock and the Rococo Rose. Was that the Terracotta Tile? I think that's the Terracotta Tile, that one. Sorry. Terracotta Tile and this Seaside Spray. So 3 beautiful colours. We're also going to cut out a circle. And this is a scallop circle. And this is from the Layering Circle Framelits. So I've just cut out a scallop circle. And we're going to stamp on a piece of Whisper White and then cut that out as well. So let me pop all those to one side and pop that to a side. Okay, so as you can see, there's our map or our plan of what we're going to do, the effect that we want to do. Oh, and I've got a piece of ribbon as well in the Seaside Spray as well, and that's going to be for this piece across here. Okay, and I don't know how much I got at that one. Probably about 25 centimetres. The card's what, 14.4 centimetres wide, so a bit more to tuck underneath. So you're probably looking at around about, yeah, probably 20 centimetres will do you fine on that. I've probably got a little bit more than that because I didn't actually measure it. I just pulled a piece out. Okay, so let's pop all this to one side. Here's my piece of Whisper White. So I'm going to use Memento ink because we're going to use our blends. I've got all my blends here making a lovely mess on my table. After I cleaned up on the weekend, I had a, hope you my posts, but I had a big clean up. I decided not to do any sewing and not to doing any stamping. I was just going to clean up my workroom so I'm not so more. Okay, so I'm just putting some Memento black ink onto my stamp there, and I'm going to stamp this down right here. Just a few seconds just to let that ink settle down into the paper. And there we have it. Isn't she gorgeous? Might have to call her Millie Moo. I shouldn't do that. I know a young girl called Millie. Okay, so let's go to colour her in. So what I want to do first is, what colour have I got here? I've got the Real Red in dark, and I've got my Real Red in light. So I'm going to use the fine tips because we're only colouring in very small areas. And I'm just going to colour this in with the light, and I'm going to make her boots in Real Red. So just be very careful. Only just take it just to the edge of the stamped area because you don't want it to bleed over. And I will go through all the colours that I've got here as I use them. So we're just going to add some Real Red there. Now if you do go over, you can use your colour lifter. I always forget the name of that one. To remove some of the colour, but I'd like just to not have to do that. Use the colour lifter for another reason today as well. So just add a bit of shadowing. So I'm just putting shadowing there just on the inside of the boots. Some people can get very particular and want to know which way the sun's facing and have the shadows on the right side, but I just sort of feel, well, just have a little bit of shadowing, that's fine. And we're colouring in such a small area, it doesn't really matter. So that's all the Real Red we're going to use. So I'm going to pop those to one side, get them right out of my way. Okay, so the next colour I'm going to take is the pineapple. No, sorry, I got Mango Melody. Okay, and we're just going to colour the centre of our flower in Mango Melody. Add a little bit of a highlight again there. I hope you guys can all see. Unfortunately, with my phone, I can't bring it in closer. My husband got me a new phone, and one of the things with the new phone is it doesn't zoom in on videos, which has been a real nuisance. Okay, so that's our Mango Melody done. Okay, we're going to use now Flirty Flamingo, and we're just going to put, whoops, we don't want that there. Going to put a little bit of pink inside her ears and her nostrils, just to give it a little bit of pink. She's starting to look beautiful, I think. What do you reckon? Looking nice? Okay, that colour's done. Now, Pretty Peacock. So I'm going to bring in some of the colours that I've got to go with our paper. So I want Pretty Peacock in the light. And I'm going to colour in the petals on this flower. Okay, so we'll just put a bit of colour into those petals. Make sure those lids are snapped back on. We don't want them running dry. And then I'm just going to put a little bit of colour. I'm not putting too much. I'm just really putting a squiggle. Just the base of each of those flowers. And I'm going to get rid of that dark one and bring the light one back in. And just colour that out a little bit. Just to blend it out so it blends with the rest of that petal. I'm not worrying overly too much because they are very small areas. Okay, so that's Pretty Peacock done. Now what colour do I want next? Actually, I think I was going to do a different colour for flower, but anyway, I better choose something. How about we go just a light granny apple green for our leaves. Okay, a little bit of granny apple green. Now you could have also used the Rococo Rose for the flower, which originally that's what I was planning to do, but hey, change our mind at the last minute, why not? Okay, so now we've got our blacks. So this is going to be a black and white cow. So I'm starting off with my light one, and I'm just going to colour in her spots black. And normally if we were doing a big image and I was really worrying about colouring and blending, I'd say just make sure you keep colouring until the colour is actually going through to the other side. But I'm not worrying about that so much today because we're just doing little areas. Okay. So put a little bit of black there. Now I just want to bring in the darker black. I did have the right black there, didn't I? No, I didn't use black at all there. I am really having a good day today. Right, so you used a grey. So let's just bring in. I'm just going to recolour over this with a darker black. I thought I had the lighter black and I didn't. I had the grey. That's okay. Doesn't really matter. Told you it was going to be a fun night tonight. Anything can happen when I am colouring in and I'm not watching what I'm doing. So now I've got my Smoky Slate Dark and my Smoky Slate Light, and I'm going to colour her front hoofs in that. And we're going to add a little bit of shading with the dark one. And then add the light over the top. Okay, now while I've got this light one in my hand, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some highlights because she looks a little bit flat. So I'm going to put a bit of grey over her ears. This is like a shadowing, a little bit on her horns, and then a little bit on this side of her face, and then going down here, a little bit just on her body underneath her face, just like a shadow. And we're just going to bring that all the way around underneath. A little bit of shadowing under her arms there, or side her arms, and underneath. Coming down here, make that a little bit thicker. I'm going to put that coming from in there. Bit around her boots. Now these alcohol markers, our blends, are really lovely to work with. I'm going to put a bit on her tail as well. Now just to give a bit more of a definition and to soften those lines a little bit, I'm going to use the colour lifter. So I'm just going to use again the fine tip. And I'm just going to go in a little circular motion just along those edges of the grey. I still want the grey to be darker, more towards the stamped image, but I just want the edges to be a little bit softer, so it's just blending out into the white. And what the colour lifter does, the colour lifter actually pushes the colour away, so it's actually pushing it away. I'm just going to do it here as well, just around those edges, just to soften my line. Because she is a white cow. She's a very beautiful cow. And then up around here, just want to soften those lines a little bit. Beautiful. So now she looks like she has got a little bit more definition to her. So these markers, you can purchase them as a combo, which means like you can get your light and dark in the smoky slate, or you can purchase them individually. It's really great. So if you've never played with them, I really recommend having a go. They're not that much different to other brands out there on the market, but they are a little bit cheaper. Yeah, no, then they're fantastic. They're really, really simple. And because you've only got 2 colours to play with, you don't have to do all the different shadings. It just gives you a little bit more freedom, and you can do so much with them. So now what we're going to do is we're going to cut this out. So I have got my circle there I'm going to cut out, and I'm going to pop this into my Big Shot. So just excuse me a second, it's just here off to the side. Let me just line her up in there. Pop the other plate on top. Now, Celebration finishes really soon, at the end of the month. So if you've got an order you want to place and it's $90 or more, get it in now, because you want to take advantage of Celebration and get your free product. You can go onto my Stampin' Up page, which is Michelle Jutrissa stampingup.net.au, and you can find my shop there and see all the products that you can order, and you can place your order through there as well. So there she is, all cut out, ready to go. So let's start putting this card together. So let me get all these bits and pieces out of the road, and let's bring in what we need to complete our card. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get a little bit of multi-purpose liquid glue, pop this on top. Now at the moment our warehouse is still open and still running, so you can still order products. And if you're looking for things for yourself or your kids to do, go and have a look at my page at Michelle Jutrissa Stampin' Up, and have a look on there. There's some really great kits and things that you can buy. You can get some that are all-inclusive, which have got the stamps and everything in it. There are a couple that you do have to buy the stamp set as a separate thing, but they're a really great way of filling in some time if you've got kids that like to do a bit of crafting and you're just not quite sure what to do with them. If you have any questions on it, please just give me a call, and I'm quite happy to walk you through it with placing an order. Okay, so we've got our piece that's going to go in the middle, and we've got our piece that's going to go on the front of our card front mat. So the order I've decided to put these in is we're going to pop that one there, and that one there. So I'm going to again use the liquid glue, because with the liquid glue I've got a little bit of time to get a bit of movement to get all these to sit. Okay, just pop a bit on there, don't want to put too much on. So just line that up. Now I've cut each one of these little pieces at 4.5 centimeters by 9.5. And that's working with the mat at being 10 by 14.4. And that will give you sort of like about 2.5 mil thereabouts in between each panel. But if you get to the end and you've got a little bit more on one side, you can always get that little mini trimmer if you've got one for big joining Stampin' Up, which is a fantastic thing to do, because then you get 20% off all your products. But look, I've managed to do it just perfect. Well, perfect for me. There we go. So they're all attached. Now what I'm going to do is I've got to adhere my piece of ribbon down. Now the easiest way to do that, I should have it here, is a bit of snail. So this is our snail. And I'm just going to put a couple of pieces of snail on the back. I'm going to line this up on my grid paper. Now I know I've got it sitting down. And I'm just going to pop a little bit of snail on the bottom there. Now I'm not pushing this down because remember I've already popped some snail on the back, and I'm going to use my grid paper to line my finger in there to push that down. Whoops, it did stick a little bit. And I'm just going to slip that under there and that one under there. Okay, just push those down and make sure that they're down. Don't need to trim that off. And that's going to go like that. So now onto the back of there, we need to add some dimensionals. I've got them all over in this box over here. As I said, I tidied up. Not like last week, where I had everything everywhere and I was losing it. But mind you, it wouldn't be me if I wasn't doing something like that. Going to pop lots of dimensionals on here. Whoops, got two there. Pop one there. One there. Now I am thinking about adding some more Facebook Lives to my week. So please keep an eye open on my Facebook page. I might do a few during the day just to keep us all occupied and busy while we're having to stay home for a little while. I hope you guys are all coping okay. If you are staying home, I'm trying only to go out one day a week. Still got a little bit of sewing coming in, but not much. So I'll be doing a bit more crafting, I think. My husband will probably say I should be doing a bit more housework too, but hey, why do housework when you can craft? Okay, so here's our card. Now, as I said before, last week, I like to line up my bottoms, my longer lengths first. So there's the front of that. And now for our cow. So we're going to put her on. We call her Millie, Millie Moo. So again, we need some dimensionals onto the back. A few more on there. Now this would be a really good card to make with kids actually. The Designer Series paper I've got here comes in packs of, they're only 6-inch squares or 15 by 15 centimetres square. And they come in 5 colours. Really great for making cards. You have a check and then there's a scripty one. Should have the pack here somewhere. Yep, here it is. So what you get in here is 5 different colours, and each piece is double-sided. That's that side. There's another colour. So you've got one here with the check, and the other side's got like a diamond pattern. But there's quite a few different pieces in there, and all then you'd need is if you got yourself a pack of note cards, and you can cut these down. The kids can have a great time making cards out of using that. And then just a couple of really simple stamp sets, like colour it in with pencils because it's an outline drawing, and have some really great fun with it. Now there's our card. Now we do have to put this centerpiece in, but what I thought we might do, I've got a sentiment here. And the sentiment is cows going. Cows are... So I'm just going to pop that on the inside rather than putting a sentiment on the outside. I'm going to pop him just on the inside in here. Just there. And then that can be glued inside the card. So go to my my shop and have a look. Find the note cards in there. Have a look at some stamp sets. There's some ones there that are very simple, easy to use. Now you will have to buy a few things to go with it, like the Memento black ink pad, especially if you're working with blends. If you're wanting to work with watercolor pencils or something like that where there's going to be water involved, please change it to your StazOn black, because Memento is a water base, so it will run with watercolor. But if you're doing Memento or just colouring it in with a dry pencil, Memento works well. And you will need to purchase some clear blocks also to go with your stamp set. But this is a great fun stamp set to play with. There's our card, which we've made. A lot of fun to make. Very, very simple. Now, if you go back onto my Facebook page, you will find some of the other challenges to give you some ideas of what you can do with cards. Now, this card here is bigger than a note card, but you could do something very similar with a note card. So if you're interested, have a look. If you've got any questions or anything, as I said, give me a tingle and I can help you place an order. I can even place an order here for you, and you can pay by card and have it sent directly to your home. So that's the beauty of Stampin' Up. We don't actually have to see each other face to face. We can do this and get product out to you to keep you occupied during this time. So I hope you've enjoyed making this fun card. Please give me a call. Stay really safe. Don't do anything silly. I'm actually going to just flip this phone over. Just bear with me one sec. Won't be a moment. Here I am again. Yeah, look, stay really safe, guys. Don't do anything silly. If you have to go out, just go out quickly and come back. Don't sit at home either getting upset about what's going on. It's going to affect all of us. But if we all hang in together and work together, we'll get through it together. So take care, stay safe, and keep in touch. Let me know how you're going, okay? Send me a message via Facebook. Love to hear from you all. So I'll see you later. Take care. Bye for now.